Hello, it's Monday, the 17th of January, and welcome to your 5-minute briefs from Seoul. I'm your host, Heejin Koo. In our first briefing of the year, we'll take a look at the woes among young job seekers in South Korea, the central bank's second rate hike in a row, SK Network's investment into an AI health diagnostics startup, as well as South Korea's approval for the use of Novavax vaccines. Plus, we take a look at a growing demand for printed editions of Korean online comics on the back of the popularity of K-dramas on streaming services. Let's begin our 5-minute roundup. South Korean college students are wondering if and when they will be able to study overseas for their advanced degrees as they seek an edge in a highly competitive job market. According to an exclusive New Year feature by Asia Business Daily, the persistent spread of the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent variants has all but dashed any hopes they had of a normal college life. Many had held on to a sliver of hope after the government had announced a gradual easing of restrictions, including those for international travel. The nation's unemployment rate for young adults jumped to 9.9% from 6.9% in the past decade, making the competition that much more intense. And with travel restrictions back in place in Korea and in many other countries, they're wondering if they will ever be able to survive in the cutthroat job market. Seoul on Friday extended its advisory for South Koreans to postpone or cancel overseas travel for yet another month. Turning now to the latest on monetary policy, the Central Bank of Korea raised its benchmark interest rates by a quarter percentage point to 1.25% on Friday, pushing the key lending rate to pre-pandemic levels. The Monetary Policy Board began to tighten lending restrictions last year with 2 rate hikes in 2021 after indicating for months that it was ready to do so. The base rate was slashed to as low as 0.5% in 2020 as the board sought to counter a recession amid a global pandemic. BOK Governor Lee Ju-yeol has already hinted more hikes are in the offing for this year, in line with similar moves in other major nations, including the US. It aims to quell possible bubbles in asset markets and counter steep inflation. Consumer prices rose 2.5% in 2021, the highest in a decade, while home prices rose the fastest among major markets in the third quarter of last year. Turning to corporate news, SK Networks, a rental service arm of South Korea's third largest conglomerate SK Group, announced on Tuesday that it will take part in a $15 million Series B funding for American digital healthcare startup LVIS. The Silicon Valley startup's Neuromatch is an AI-based deep learning software that analyzes brain circuits to diagnose various neurological diseases such as dementia and epilepsy. So far, LVIS has obtained some 20 patents and set up medical data of more than 140,000 cases, according to Korea Economic Daily. It added that SK is hopeful that the venture can find new diagnostic and treatment solutions. The company was founded in 2013 by Jin Young-lee, the first South Korean woman appointed as professor at Stanford University. And staying on the topic of the latest news in biohealth, South Korea's drug agency on Wednesday approved the use of Novavax Inc.'s COVID-19 vaccine. The protein-based Nuvaxovid marks the 5th vaccine to receive the green light for use in Korea, followed by those from the UK, Swedish pharmaceutical giant AstraZeneca and Oxford University, Pfizer Inc., Johnson & Johnson, and Moderna. SK Bioscience, another unit of South Korea's SK Group, will handle the distribution of the shots after manufacturing them under contract at its local plant. Seoul and SK Bioscience have so far agreed to provide 40 million doses of Nuvaxovid in the country. South Korea counts the biohealth sector as one of the big three areas in which they will focus investment, pledging to pour as much as 10 trillion won or $8.4 billion in the potentially lucrative sector by 2023, allocating 1.7 trillion won into biohealth R&D alone this year. And finally, we turn to books and entertainment, namely printed editions of South Korean online webtoons that are flying off the shelves of bookstores around the world as fans of Korean dramas and other K-content snap them up. Leading the charge are the nation's top online comic distributors such as Naver Webtoon, the affiliate of the nation's largest online search platform, and Kakao Webtoon, the unit of Korea's biggest messaging platform. The first editions of a 2-volume Tower of God, one of Naver's most beloved series with more than 4.5 billion views worldwide, sold out soon after its release in France, home to the world's second largest comics market. Kakao's Solo Leveling and Naver's True Beauty also topped the comics bestseller list in France since their launch last year. And the trend will likely continue as fans of K-dramas streaming on Netflix and other over-the-top services seek ways to quench their thirst for more. Itaewon Class, Hellbound, Sweet Home, The Uncanny Encounter, and Vincenzo are all K-dramas rooted in webtoons with an international following. That wraps it up for this episode of 5-Minute Briefs from Seoul. This has been Hee Jin Koo for KBSI. Have a good day.